Senator Warren talks about how the special education department is important for special education students, but I think she forgot that they also need to eat.
In this shutdown posture, the White House has used it as a pretense to cut programs and jobs that they don't like. As part of those layoffs, they've gotten rid of most of the special education staffers within the Department of Education. I want to read something according to the 19th. It says more than 7 million children across the country rely on special education services that are partially funded and enforced by the federal government. And quite frankly, they don't care if Trump would deem this a Democrat program or not. So if these firings are upheld in court, what's the impact of those cuts?
Sure. So let me just say two things. First, these firings are illegal. They were illegal before the shutdown, and they are illegal after the shutdown. The shutdown gives Donald Trump no more power to lay people off en masse like this than he had before.
Well, he actually had the power to fire federal workers before the shutdown. The shutdown did not give him any more power, you're right, but he still had power to fire federal workers.
He had no power to do this. But the second is, please observe the cruelty of what they're doing.
Absolutely. It's not a good look. I can admit that. But you know what else isn't a good look? The Democrats voting against reopening the government and essentially taking the food from the American citizens' mouths. You're taking EBT from South Carolina, from Pennsylvania, from these states. They're not able to fund their EBT because the funding from the government has stopped because the Democrat Party, they keep pushing this narrative, this false narrative that it's a Republican shutdown and that Republicans are causing all of this. And then they turn around and 13 times in a row, they have voted not to reopen the government. This is the Democrats' fault, plain and simple.
You know, I was a special ed teacher long before I ever got into this job. And understanding what access to opportunities for those kids mean and how those kids can't wait. They need their help so they can be in a classroom. They need that wheelchair. They need that extra teacher's aid.
They certainly do. And they also need to eat to have the strength to go to school. If you agree with her, put it down in the comments. But if you think that Democrats should vote to reopen the government, throw that down in the comments. Like and subscribe. See you next time.
It's the post. It's the postal effect. It's the postal effect.